This is Yae Miko character analysis, and it's interesting to see what's the best build for her coming forward. Yae Miko will be getting crit rate as Ascension. She summons forth Kitsune Spirits, initiating a maximum of 3 attacks that deal electro damage. We have some characters with 3 normal attacks. Kokomi comes to mind. As for her charge attacks, she will be consuming a certain amount of stamina to deal AoE electro damage with 257% at level 10. Yae Miko's appearance of elegant pink and white with red stripes makes her represent the flower in Inazuma, the Sakura flower, which seems to be connected to her E skill, leaving a Sessho Sakura behind, and has the following properties. Will periodically strike one nearby opponent with lightning, dealing electro damage. When there are other Sakura nearby, their level will increase, thus boosting the damage dealt by said attacks. A maximum of 3 Sakura can exist simultaneously. The initial Sakura can reach its 3. At level 10, the Sakura damage starts off with 109%, at level 2, 136, at level 3, 170, and at level 4, 225%. Yae Miko seems like she'll be doing damage off the floor, so strategically placing these Sakura among enemies will greatly benefit doing DPS, because her burst will enable 3 Sakura flowers to be unsealed, which destroys the outer form, and transforming them into Sky Kitsune Thunderbolts, which does insane amount of electro damage at level 10 at 528%. This skill also starts with skill damage of 468%, and these electro damage is going to be AoE. So what this means is that once you place these Sakura flowers, her E skill, and as you continuously place these in the battlefield doing electro damage periodically, then when you cast her burst, these Sakura flowers will create thunderbolts that deal 528% AoE electro damage each. So if you place 3, that will be 528 times 3, which is pretty decent amount of electro damage. But it's important to understand that her E skill won't be AoE, instead it will periodically deal electro damage, and her kit is designed to be focused mostly on her E skill, which doesn't make sense because the objective is to place much of these flowers onto the battlefield, but you can't do that with cooldown of 14 seconds, and her passive talent allows decrease of the cooldown of her E skill when other party members hit opponents with their elemental skill and burst, as these flowers last 9 seconds. While you are continuously swapping characters in and out, Yae Miko will be able to continuously cast her E skill, which makes sense to use her in a team comp that allows these quick swap in and out, and having one character dominate most of the time won't be a great fit. Although of course you can make it work, just that I don't think it will be the best way to utilize it to maximize her DPS. And her last passive talent is interesting. Every point of elemental mastery she possesses will increase Sakura damage by 0.12%. At 150 elemental mastery, her E skill damage will be boosted up to 18%, which is pretty nice, and her kit is mainly focused on her E skill, so a good elemental mastery stance with crit and attack percent sub rolls might benefit the most. But I do think that attack percent stance might actually do well with her, because the attack percent will scale for her burst as well, and since her burst does really good AoE electro damage, energy recharge will fit her nicely too, because her burst is actually very costly with 90 energy cost. But her Constellation 1 will help restore her energy back. If you're looking to C1, then attack percent stance look like a good fit for her. Her C2, C3, and C6 focuses on her E skill, which decreases cooldown, increases AoE of the attack, and her C6 makes her E skill increase damage, cause now the level can be reached up to 4, which increases quite a lot of damage, and it ignores 45% of opponent's defense. And ignoring defense is the best way to increase damage. Previously with Raiden, her C2 gave the defense ignore, which I think was the most bang for the buck in my opinion. But with really good C6 on Yae Miko, comes with a high price tag of RNG. Her first and second constellation does help a lot with energy regen and some versatility, and her C4 increases 20% of electro damage for all characters, which is nice to have when pairing her with other electro characters, but I feel like she'll be great just as C0. Her C2 increases AoE, but C1 and C2 won't actually increase her damage numbers, but it will make life much easier because you'll see her energy recharge much quicker. There has been a leak regarding her signature weapon. It's called Kagura's Rarity, and this weapon comes with 66.2% crit damage main stat with attack of 608 at level 90. Yae also gains the Kagura dance effect when using an elemental skill, causing the elemental skill damage of the character yielding the weapon by 12% at refinement 1. Yae or other characters yielding this weapon will gain additional 12% elemental damage bonus when at max 3 stacks. I'm not sure how these stacks work, we'll find out when this weapon gets released in the future. I won't be going over all the weapons, but I want to talk about this 4-star weapon. The Witsit is one of the best weapons for Yae in my opinion, because this weapon also comes with crit damage and has a chance to get massive attack, elemental damage over elemental mastery of 240 at refinement 1, which equals to 28% increased elemental skill damage. If you have this weapon, then you're in a treat cause it seems like it will be OP with Yae Miko. For her best artifacts, I will say 4-piece Thundering Fury fits her nicely. The 4-piece effect decreasing cooldown of her elemental skill is really good to have, along with increased electro damage. The 4-piece Wanderers is something you can consider. The elemental mastery of 80 increases her E skill damage by 12%, and the 35% extra charge attack is going to be pretty nice. She already does nice charge attack damage though. 4-piece emblem set looks good too, and her burst nuking damage along with energy recharge will fit her nicely, but this is mainly focused on her burst, not her E skill. As for me, I'm probably going to give her 2-piece Thundering Fury and 2-piece Glad or Shimanaz so I can distribute damage scaling both her E skill and her Q skill. If she doesn't get her signature set, which I think she'll be getting, I might consider 4-piece Thundering Fury cause I'm most likely going to keep her C0, and the decreased cooldown for her E skill sounds like something I want to have on her. And lastly, this electro set with 35% increased damage is nice to have if you're looking to use her with Raiden, Beidou, or other electro characters. To prepare for Yae Miko, you'll be needing Sea Gandodermas, Handguards, Dragon Hair's False Fin, and Philosophies of Light. Yae Miko sounds like a great character. I'm really looking forward for this character because I like characters that leave things on the floor and deal damage off the floor. This character seems like she'll be doing massive damage off the floor, leaving room for other characters to come in. She probably will be dealing most damage over time due to consistent damage proccing, and her insane nuking possibilities with her burst makes her quite outstanding. Of course, we need to wait and see until she actually comes out. What do you think about Yae Miko? Let me know in the comment section below. Before I go, I will be selecting few random subscribers for Welcome Moon. Congrats, just message me in the Discord, and thanks for watching the video. My name is Aiden. I'll see you next time.